I feel nauseous, believe me. Never had a lot of shit come easy. Had to work hard, struggle
This is the Australian Indie Wrestling Podcast, fellow wrestlers, trainees, event support staff, friends, foes, and everyone in between. If you've got a question, if you've got a problem, if you want to get searched by the man himself, the Don, he's got the powers and a little special area to do it in. The Don, how are you? How's your weekend?
My weekend was amazing. I don't have the powers to search anyone. I don't have a little room.
That's just what's going on. I went out to the city in the weekend and got caught up in the protests. And I'll flash a few pictures up here of what I saw. But there's new search powers, new instant search powers. So if you get stop and search by the police, they'll give you off a little spiel, and you'll get your pockets turned out right in the middle of Melbourne. Hey, so think about that as you're coming over for Christmas.
Yeah, well, I saw some of those images. One of the guys looked like he was geared up for, Thunderdome or something. It was crazy.
Yeah, well, even though he's doing a duck impersonation, hey.
Yeah, but he had all the tack gear on, ready to fuck shit up. I was like, miss me with that. I'm not going to those protests, thank you.
Oh yeah, you're talking about the police officers more than the protesters. They were dressed to the nines, weren't they? They were taking no shit. They were taking no for an answer. It was
yes sir, no sir, 3 bags full sir, and then get the plug out. Yeah.
I saw one guy bent over in front of the police officer. I'll flash it up, and he's just like, "What the fuck are you doing, mate? Trying to get in the back of a paddy wagon or what?" Hey, like. But that was my weekend anyway, Don. Fuck that. How was your weekend?
This is my destiny. My weekend was great. I don't get an opportunity to go watch much wrestling anymore. It's always being a part of the show or being in the show or doing something around it. There's always something going on for me. So this weekend, I decided to go down to Varsity and get my burger on and watch some NHPW. And took my son along. We had fun. Had a good time, bumped into a bunch of people, and then night 2, they did a double nighter, Mana's big birthday bash, and it saw us head to, Coburn, which if you look at the spelling, it says Cockburn, but it's actually pronounced Coburn for anyone who is an interstate traveler. It's a place, it's called Coburn, there's a pronunciation, it's. But so we went down to Coburn, but before I left to go down to Coburn, I was getting ready. It was about 5 o'clock, 2 hours before showtime. And I got a phone call from a Dex Van Diemen saying that his tag partner was unavailable and he was looking for a friend to help him out with a match. And I said yes, because I haven't wrestled for NHPW for a while. It's been a minute, and I really dig the crew down there, get along with everyone, have a good time. So it's 2 hours before showtime. I haven't shaved, I haven't tanned, haven't got my bag packed, haven't got that ready. So I quickly jammed all my stuff in my bag, the stuff I thought I would need. Grabbed my son, headed down there, got to the show, we got ready for it. We're second match, so I didn't have a lot of time to get prepared. But we went out there. Sorry?
Second match.
Second match, yeah. Well, which actually turned out to be third because I had an impromptu match or something in between, but something like that. But yeah, so yeah, second match, went out there, wrestled War and Chuck Romero, and those guys have a bit of a tradesman sort of gimmick with the high-vis vests and the work boots, and had a match with those guys. It was part of a gauntlet. They had wrestled a match, then we entered and then wrestled those guys, and then the final match was Dex Van Diemen and the Don. We got ourselves D&D for the evening against Gorgeous Gary and the Great George. And we had a fantastic time. The crowd was excellent. They're always up and about for NHPW, having a good time. Saw a few familiar faces, familiar to me, maybe unfamiliar to the listeners. It was David Nero, who used to be a big part of EPW, was in Schwa and SHWA, and also he worked for NHPW as well back in the day. Brock Freeman, who's a blast from the past, used to be a big thing in EPW many moons ago. And there, obviously, Chris Weiss was over from Japan. He was performing. It was good to see him. It's been a long time. He's a Perth boy who's gone and made a living in Japan doing
Funny
the pro
story.
wrestling shtick.
I used to share a house with Brock Freeman.
Oh, nice.
Many
Blast from the
moons
past
ago.
for you as well.
Many moons ago.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and then obviously a few international stars that had come over for the show, Rachel Ellering, Mercedes Martinez, Dragon Kid, and Loki, who is a regular. When I say regular, I don't mean every show, but he regularly comes to Perth. He's a good friend of NHPW, puts on shows. And yeah, I wasn't. It sucks because obviously performing, I wasn't allowed to. I wasn't able to watch a lot of the show with my son, but we still hung out and watched a bit of the wrestling. And then partway through the main event, which was Dragon Kid versus Low Key, which I was really keen to see. Haven't seen a lot of Dragon Kid, seen a lot of Low Key over the years.
Low Key's been coming to NHPW for decades.
Yes, yes. Unfortunately, I called away, had to help out with a bit of first aid. Needed to help out.
What happened there?
Rachel Ellering had come over to Australia and wasn't aware of our climate. Managed to get herself some heat stroke and then had the match and copped a few stray shots during the match, which happens when you're wrestling. Not everything goes perfectly to plan. And done senior first aid specifically in case things happen at shows, and they asked me to come back and help out. And she was okay, just, for the next couple of days, she's going to be uncomfortable, sore jaw, that kind of thing. But
just what the Don ordered.
No, but then came back to watch the end of Dragon Kid versus Low Key, and my son he actually got to stay and watch it, and he said it was a really cool match, some really, really cool spots.
He doesn't even like wrestling.
Yeah. And then, the show finished, but I had to take off. Was hoping to hang around and catch up with a few faces I hadn't seen for a while, but had to get going. Young fella, it was late. I need to get home, get some sleep. And he doesn't exactly enjoy when I stand around talking for an hour with people while he's just standing around not doing much at all. So, with a bit of mercy to my son, he took off a bit early.
Well, there you go. All the wrestling dads out there, don't fuck around. Make your kid watch you, reminisce with your mates. Get in and get out. They want to get home.
Yeah, do it in your own time.
But there he has it. So that was NHPW. Good showing for Mana's birthday bash. Yep.
Got a lot of love, got a lot of time for Mana. He's a champion human being. When he first came over to Australia, he used to wrestle in the States for WXW, I think it was the WXW for the Wild Samoans. That's where he trained. And that's where he has a lot of his connections from the States, doing a lot of touring and traveling and wrestling over there. And ever since he arrived, just connected. He was a really cool guy. I was on the first ever NHPW show when they first did their first show, which had Rikishi and Gangrel and a few other international names as well. Was really cool because it was real early in my career, and I got to meet Rikishi backstage at a show. So just opportunities. And then over the years, he's afforded me so many opportunities to wrestle international guys. Muhammad Ali Fayez is one guy who I think he lives in Melbourne at the moment, has an amazing knowledge for wrestling. One of the first matches I had that I wrestled him, and you normally have a bit of nerves, and when you're wrestling, all you're thinking about is the next bit and getting there. His ability to just keep everything calm and controlled and work through the match, the working the crowd, bringing them up, and as well as being able to just a calming presence in a match. For my early days was really good. I got to wrestle Jeff Cobb, who is just a freakishly strong human being. Stout, like not super tall, but very thick, and to throw me around at 100 kilos like I weighed nothing. So that was just super impressive. Just there's a few other names that are just escaping me at the moment that I was able to meet or wrestle. Meeting Kevin Owens before he went to the Fed and did all that stuff. He was at NHPW. Just over the years, just a number of different, even interstate guys. The first time I ever met the Pareja was at NHPW, working with them. First time I met the Basso brothers was at NHPW. Even meeting Rhea Ripley when she was a young blonde teenager backstage there, Dakota Kai. I think I met Bronson Reed at EPW, but also seeing him in NHPW. A lot of interstate wrestlers that I met was through working at NHPW, and that's why I always say to people, if you get the opportunity to work somewhere else, don't turn it away. You never know who you're going to meet. Networking is huge in wrestling. People you meet, people you end up knowing and make a connection with, you can work somewhere else. It's great.
Well, speaking about who you meet and who you see in wrestling and the community you build, we saw a post from D Slats during the week, Damian Slater, about knowing your role. Well, not shutting your mouth, but just know your role in wrestling. So, Don, you want to take us through that a bit?
Yeah, well, so his post was sort of like knowing that wrestling isn't everything. Expand your life around wrestling. Have wrestling as a major part of your life. It's funny reading that, and you can identify with it on so many levels. As a guy who's a wrestler, guys who are in wrestling will look at it and go, yeah, I know that. When you end up being introduced as, oh, this is blah, 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 he's a wrestler, you get that quite a lot. And then, with him saying that you see older guys who will take time off, and you're like, oh, why would you do that? You might miss an opportunity. And as you sort of get a bit older yourself, you realize that sometimes you need that little bit of a break to come back stronger and better. But yeah, the whole post was really just like, wrestling is great. Wrestling is part of us, but it doesn't have to be everything we are. You can still push hard and work hard in wrestling, but it doesn't have to be every single second of your day, because you get tied up in it. You basically get to a point where you're like, if I'm not wrestling, what am I? So you need to find those. Yeah. Well, that's the feeling. That's the feeling you get. You have a match of a weekend. You hear people talk about post-wrestling depression, where they'll have a match of a weekend, and then Monday morning hits, or even Sunday morning if it's that quick, depending on if it's a Saturday night show, and you're back to your regular life, and you're like, this is depressing. But you've got to be able to find outlets in your life where, yes, wrestling is an awesome outlet, but it can't define you, but it can be a massive part of your life. And that follows on into that know your role thing. You are in wrestling, and in your early years, and everyone watches wrestling and goes, oh, I want to do the main event, 20-minute, 20 pinfalls, 20 kickouts sort of thing, where it just builds and builds and builds, and they don't realize it takes a while to get to the point where those matches mean something. You can have a 20 or 30-minute match with all of the big moves and the near falls, and no one's going to remember it because there was no build up to it. There was no emotion behind it, because it's just, two guys having a match, which you can do some amazing stuff in, but if you overextend it, you need to be able to back that up again. Whereas if you're wrestling in early in your career, you're mastering all the little things to get that locked in, and you're doing that match 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 times before you expand from that. You make the match a little bit bigger, and then there's some sort of a rivalry with someone else, and you build up a rapport with the audience so they know who you are and they know what you do. And then when you start to extend from that, then they go, well, he's really pulling out all the stops. He's really extending himself and doing more to get further. And again, it's a learning journey as well as a performance journey. And then as you progress further and further and further, you will hit those peaks, and you'll get to those points where the matches are going for longer, because there is a big emotion behind it, a big feeling, a big storyline where it's happening. And then once you hit that peak of that storyline and that finishes, you need to drop back down, and that can be devastating for guys, because they're like, well, but I'm at my peak, everyone's behind me, everything's awesome. But if you hit a point where you can physically do no more, you can't. Yeah, you plateau out. So if you can take a back step, do a little bit less, and then remove that expectation of doing so much, that when you come back up on that peak, towards that peak again, you're reminding people what you can do, and you can pull out those things, and and maybe add a little tweak to them, but you've still got to bring those things back and bring everything back up there. And everyone just wants to wrestle at this peak all the time, doing everything. And then when you get there, then where do you go from there? So then they have to do more, and the body can't handle it, and the fans don't get as invested because they're like, well, he went through 10 tables in the last match. I want to see 20 this time, or I'm not impressed. And it's not a forefront of their mind kind of thing either. It's in the back of their mind. It's like, well, I saw him take that move and kick out of it, 2 weeks ago. How's he going to lose to it here? Or I saw that guy hit that guy with his moves 3 times last time. How come he only hit it once this time? Like, there's so much psychology behind wrestling that in your eagerness to become great and to elevate yourself, you skip so many parts and you don't pay attention to the small things that really set you up for success later on.
Yeah, nice. Well, there you have it. And so, well, I got to say, speaking of international acts, knowing your role, position on the card, NXT WarGames, we saw Rhea Ripley and Bronson Reed sort of play a major part in the women's and men's main events of Survivor Series.
Yes.
So that was good to see.
I still haven't watched it yet.
We know you haven't watched it and you've got a busy life. Don't worry, everyone's seen it, so you don't have to fucking say shit about it. We can move on to MC. It's just good to see, It's just good to see them, like, they just say their lives will never be the same and stuff like that. So it's just good to see. But coming up, we've got a massive weekend, local A, MCW, PWA, and Slam. Not necessarily in that order. I think PWA is Friday night. Slam is Saturday night, and MCW is on the Sunday. I'm actually going to the MCW on the Sunday. I bought myself a nice VIP ticket for the balcony, so I can see you all. Yeah, we're not that fancy. It's just. I just can't go back. Hey, I just can't go back.
You've experienced the peak, and you can't go back to the. Yeah, I get
That's it. Hey, I've experienced the best MCW has to offer. It's just having your own private bar. I know it's not hard to get to the bar at MCW. There's a massive long bar. It's just I got a private bar. I got a nice view. It's great. Yeah. But anyway, let's talk about PWA for Friday night. Let's go through a few of the matches. What have we got here?
If you are just before we go right into it, if you are an ambitious wrestling fan and you're really keen, you can be in
New South Wales,
Marrickville on Friday, and then you can make your way down to the UC Refectory on Saturday, and then you can get yourself down all the way to the Melbourne Pavilion on Sunday. If you're really keen, I think you struggle
So you could fly to Sydney, hire a car, and then drive it back down the coast day by day.
And watch all 3 of these massive shows. That'll be...
You'd be fucked. You'd be calling in Monday sick for work, but you'd make it, hey, you'd make it.
He's the only guy I know who feels better when he's sick.
So let's check out a few of these matches. What's sticking out to you?
It's a bit of the ginge on ginge warfare, to be honest. The soul of PWA Championship. 2 gingers fighting over a soul.
Gingers have souls! I go to church. I'm a Christian. You don't know me. You're not God.
You can't make
You go straight for the tippy top, are you?
Yeah, look, Bonsza versus Tuckman. And on a personal level, Bonsza, the kind of work he does, and working with someone as up and coming and fresh and new as the Tuckman, I think, as I say, working with Bonsza before, knowing his work ethic and his style and seeing what Tuckman's bringing now, that's going to be a barn burner, straight out. It'd be worth the price of admission alone, let alone whatever the rest else is going on.
Well, something that stood out to me was the Ricky South Invitational. It's got Ricky South and taking on, I think it's Eugenie and your mate Jesse Lambert.
Yep. Your favourite wrestler in
my
Perth,
favourite Jesse Lambert. He's got not only the flight to Friday night to PWA. He's also in the Rumble MCW.
Oh, wow, nice. See, Jesse Lambert, I don't know, if you pay close attention, that boy has been picking things up and putting things down. He's been hitting the gym. Yep. He is getting himself into some really good shape. I'm very proud of this young man. He's not just resting on his laurels with the thumb. He's like, I need to work on myself and make myself better in the years to come. So power to him. Good boy.
Oh, bullshit. Good dog.
Also, Scott Green versus Robbie Eagles. Should be a bit of a good match, and there's a trio tables match.
That'll be awesome to see because Scott Green, and this is not even a tiny bit of a slight, but it can be read as that. He's trying to get a little bit of footage of him versus Robbie Eagles because I'm not saying that's why it was booked, but this man will be trying to do things on another level because he sees, like everyone in Australian wrestling, sees Robbie Eagles as that guy who's on that level where people want to be, you know what I mean? So he's like, he's going to have to, not that he needs to up his game to be better, but I'm just saying he's definitely going to be on his peak level to make sure he looks like he can hang and belongs with the likes of Robbie Eagles. So that match is
Robbie Eagles is a human highlight reel, so I'll say Scott Green has to up his game to hang with Robbie Eagles. How's that? I'll say it.
Yeah, look, that's cool. No, that's cool. I'm just saying, like, I think really, like, match could take on match of the night. Do you know what I mean? If they really pull out everything that we know Robbie's capable of and see what Scott Green is capable of on that level.
Should be a good night anyway. Friday at PWA. There's a few other matches on. There's a elimination tag team match, a trios tables match, Xander Sullivan versus PBK and Velocities versus CBK. So that will be good. Lots of stars there at PWA Friday night. We move to Slam Saturday, December the 6th. And a lot of matches sticking out here. Don, pick one or pick a couple. And
Ricky South versus Cosmo Cooper. I met Cosmo, I think, for the first time in Perth when he came over and wrestled on the Fat Brew shows. Really excited kid who's really trying to work hard to elevate himself. Ricky South, a guy who is at, I won't say his peak, but he's moving himself around a lot, trying to get more and more reps in, get himself more and more recognized. He's already a recognizable name in Australian wrestling. But yeah, I think that match will be quite a good one.
What an odd statement, the way you built him up last week. Anyway, next, Rita Stone versus Jessica Troy. I'm looking forward to that match. So that'll be another good match because, a good one a few weeks ago. And now the main event is TMDK Eagles versus Eagles Slex and Broderick versus Thorpe, Bronson and Archer. So the Slam heavyweight title. So we just say Dan Archer has avoided putting it on the line.
Yes,
and got himself mixed up in a three-way match at the biggest event of the year.
Nope, he's like, I am not letting this title go. I'm hanging on to this into the new year. And hey, look, smart.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
So that's your Saturday night. So if you're in the Canberra area, I would say there are still tickets available. So yeah, that's interesting.
Getting quick if there are.
Yeah, you want to get in quick, but it's always a good showing. What was it? They had 2,500 tickets, but a little bit on that later. If you've seen what we've seen during the week. So Sunday, we're talking about MCW Endgame, and this is the one myself I'll be going to.
Yes.
Now,
I expect a full, written, detailed report for next week.
I'm there to enjoy it. I'm not fucking taking notes.
No.
I'll be at the private bar. What are you talking about?
No, I need you to come here with the information and tell me just how good it was.
I'm gonna rely on the MCW reports. They have boffins.
I'm disappointed.
I'll do my best, but the notes will be sloppy. But look, there's a.
I enjoy the show, brother.
Hey, I'm just gonna be like, go the Tuckman. MCW Tag Team Championship ladder match. You got the Natural Classics versus Water Rapids, which of course is Mitch Waterman and Ryan Rapid.
Can I just say,
dropouts?
Mitch Waterman and Ryan Rapid, great wrestlers. Water Rapids, not a great name.
I was just about to say that. Hey, like legit. Hey, probably could have done a bit better on the name, but see, it feels like I'm at like Adventure World or some sort of fun park on the big tube rides, going down on the big tires.
What other type of rapids are there? Just what I'm wondering.
Oh, there's there's a babbling brook to Avon Descent, shall we say?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
But
so
they're all water.
Well, one I'm looking forward to again is Clydesdale versus Carver. And if you watched Sam Payne a few weeks ago, Clydesdale was on there and on the old Sam Payne show doing a weather report, so that was interesting in itself. O'Leary versus Fantasia, fight for freedom. Basically, Fantasia has had enough of being O'Leary's whipping boy. Come on, Don, your man Fantasia, what can you say about him?
Oh, man, I can't wait until he unloads that right hand. I have had concussions from that slap, and I'm hoping that O'Leary catches one. I hope every time someone catches his slap, they get the same concussion I had. So, just because I want everyone to feel the love of Fantasia. But this is cool. This has been building for a long time. This is the end of a long feud between these two. So,
all year.
Very well
almost all year this has been going on. And so Lux versus Cassidy, is it Katie Lux versus Shay Cassidy? So that would be a good one.
Yes, very
MCW Inter-Commonwealth Championships will be another great one. So Brooks versus Ricky South. So let's see how Ricky South handles
3 nights in a row.
That weekend of PWA, Slam and MCW. Because I didn't see Brooksy wasn't announced anywhere else, was he?
No, not that I noticed. Might not have caught all the matches, but it looks like, just Endgame.
Yeah, so, and then we have Jarvis versus Tommy Knight, both going to the same hairdresser these days.
They put their head in the Shino Ballo.
Yep, so I reckon that'll be an interesting match because, we saw at the end of the last MCW one, Tommy Knight speared Jarvis in the entranceway. And then, of course, MCW World Heavyweight Championship Fatal 4-Way, Thorpe versus Hayter versus Dusk versus Slex. 3 of these guys coming in from Slam the night before, so a bit of an advantage for Edward Dusk, who's maybe coming in fresher than the others.
Let's see, who you got money on for this one?
Oh, I've got to put it on Dusk, don't you think? Who have you got money on?
It's a tough choice. I want to say Robbie Thorpe, but I feel like he won't be in Australia for much longer. So whether they want to put the title on him before he goes away, or if it's just he's just a big,
goes away. Have you heard something I haven't?
I haven't heard anything. I have just seen the man live in person, and I'm just like, if this guy doesn't, what hope have we got for anyone else?
Yeah, fair enough.
You know what I mean? Hayter being from Adelaide, not sure it's going to go that way, but he'll put on a hell of a show. Dusk, now I messed this up before where he's from, but I think he's a Melburnian, or is he a Adelaidean? Oh, I've messed this up before. I said it once.
He's from Melbourne, but he wrestles in.
He was wrestling a lot in Adelaide at the time, and I was like, "Oh, he's from Adelaide," and you were like, "You are wrong." And Slex is just a unit, but I feel like it's time for a change because he's currently the heavyweight champion, isn't he? Slex.
So you think? Is he
currently?
So Slex is losing it?
Yeah, if he's currently got it, I feel like it's going to be a transition show. Like someone else is going to take it. Dusk is a big call, but I don't know. If I had my booking man's hat on, I'd be going with Robbie Thorpe.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, that is the massive weekend and 3 massive shows. From PWA to MCW with Slam, slap bang in the fucking middle on Saturday. And if you've been paying close attention to Slam, then you'd be paying close attention to Dan Archer. And if you've been paying close attention to Dan Archer, then you'd be noticing he's up to some AI trickery, some AI trickery.
You can't do that. What about the water?
The water. Oh, Don. We're gonna fuck the planet. We need Dan Archer and just a few people that use this shit are gonna fuck the planet. Think of the children.
What are you doing? Like, I mean, we can mess around with AI. That's fine, but no one else. That's that's unacceptable.
People are just gonna have a go at Dan Archer, and I'll be surprised to find out that they haven't, in the same way that they fucking had a go at everyone else that uses AI as the fucking pansies. But anyway.
Yeah, no, we're the devil. We use the AIs.
Yeah,
the devil. Welcome to the dark side, Dan.
Yeah, welcome to the dark side, Dan. And let's go through the definitive top 30 21st independent pro wrestling events. According to ChatGPT, with verification, paid events only, promotions with no TV deal. It must have been a rainy day up there in Canberra because there's the 30 fucking list of attendance, and it would have, I've used the devil's tool, the ChatGPT. I've also used the fucking devil's backpack, which is a fucking xylophone squeeze box, but that's a different story.
We won't say anything about the devil's lettuce.
Yeah, no, yeah, but so we've gone through a few of the flashcards. It's been put up. And
with the information.
Really reiterating, really hammering home that Slam is kicking everyone's ass in attendance. Not only in attendance, just in general, but per capita. That's where it's really hammered home, and you can see Slam is kicking everyone's ass if you believe these verified numbers and facts put out here. And and of course you've come to the right place if you don't want verified facts.
Don't come here. But one thing I found interesting across it, it's really cool to see Australians in any sort of list like this, even though it's an AI generated. The highest number obviously is Slam when they're at the AIS Arena with 2,432 paid attendees, which is just dope. It's cool. I saw the footage of it. It's just cool.
Oh no, it makes you want to go. Like it makes you want to go. Like I want to get along to one year.
If they do this show again, like the AIS Arena with the same sort of style and same sort of setup, I'd love to go.
And
check it out. Then next on the list for Australia is look at that, it's Slam again.
Slam again, coming in at number 8, lovely. Number 11.
For 1,713 paid people of the NCCC in Canberra in 2023. So that was on the way up to their biggest one before they hit their 2,432.
That was on the rise. That was on the unceremonious new kid on the block honeymoon rise of Slam. Would you say? And to be honest, it wasn't like they were putting on some half-baked fucking shows. They were getting decent names up there, so that's why they're drawing decent numbers. Hey, come on, it's not hard to see what's going on.
That's it. And then next on the list from Australia is 18 with MCW.
MCW Endgame, attendance 1,200 plus. Oh, look, I was there. I'd hazard to say 1,300 plus. Once you start counting all the wrestlers out the back and the hot dog servers and the fucking hamburger makers, come on. I mean, that's what you're doing. Like, why don't you count the other people's hot dog makers and hamburger makers?
That's what I'm doing. I'm not doing shit. I'm just sitting here reviewing information.
No. Like the person that made this list.
It's a 1,200 at Endgame 2024. Over under, you reckon next year? They get this year in this weekend.
Over this year, I think there's there was a lot of buzz around that year, but I think there's still, if not even the buzz has not leveled out, but just sort of gradually built up a bit more. I think within this week it'll build up a bit more here in Melbourne. I already got my ticket 4 weeks ago, so. I am sweet. I'm fucking swish on the balcony.
You reckon it'll probably be about the same, if not a touch better?
Yeah, a touch better, I'd say, because people of course hear about how good the last one was.
Yeah.
Then we have
cool. 9. I hope for much more, but you don't know until we get there. Next on the list.
I'll tell you after next week. That's when I'll fucking tell you, my friend. I might even have a few photos with me new fandangled phone. Hey, look.
You'll be taking very, very specific notes, like I've asked you to.
Oh, fuck.
Next on the list, number 19, PWA X Progress. This was a joint show, a crossover show. Progress did a tour. But when they went to PWA, they got approximately, that's what the wiggly line means, 1,100 at the Star in Sydney, which is still cool. Anything over 1,000 is great.
Yeah, everything over 1,000 is great for Australian wrestling. And I tell you what, having it at the Star Sydney, Australia, is the casino there. What a star-studded event at the Star Sydney, Australia. 1,000 plus for PWA X Progress. All this verified. So next is coming in at 25. We noticed EPW, the Australian Super Show, 750 plus. Now,
it says approximately 750, and I know for a fact it cracked over 900. So, but that's okay. The internet's not always super reliable.
Come on, Don. Count the hamburger makers and the hot dog makers. You got 1,000. Don't let them get away with that.
1,000 with all of our friends and
relatives and everyone who didn't pay and the trainees.
Badminton on the other courts, we got 1,500. Okay, right, we're good.
Don't forget the fake security guards
and the real ones.
So this was live reports, largest verified EPW number. Well, you've beaten that since then.
This year.
And I got to say now, people are bringing up a PCW show from back in the 2010s, mid 2010s, that was held at the State Basketball Centre. I happened to be there, so I can verify that there was at least 2,000 people there.
Yep.
So that was a decent showing. So Ryan Rapid in the main event for that one. Erica Reed as well.
And I had a go at you and said, fucking, that's over 10 years ago. You do less time for manslaughter. Things change between now and then, but then I realized this whole list goes way back to...
This whole list goes back as far as your grandma... Well, not your grandma, but some people's grandma. Not your grandma in particular, Don. I don't want you to board the next flight and beat me up because I've did disparaging remarks about your grandma. But this goes back farther than most people's grandma's dating history.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's going to be interesting to see like an updated list for like the last, post-COVID only. That would be interesting to see.
Post-COVID? Why is it always post-COVID with you? You didn't even get a fucking COVID
because
over
COVID killed a lot of companies. A lot of companies died.
Okay, fair enough, yeah.
Yeah, like it's tragic and it's not great, but if you were to wipe the closed places out of like any kind of ranking like that, be interesting to see where it ends up.
Well, that's it. And quickly, just on that note, before you do the wrap around the country, I saw Venom Pro Wrestling release all of its dates for the year, so good to see Venom come back with some dates for the rest of the year. Hopefully they all proceed. I also saw a few other dates for the rest of the year. I think QWA put a few dates out for the year from memory, if I've got that right. If I won't, I'll just edit this out.
So it's good to do that kind of thing, just because then people go, well, this popped up. It's like, well, we gave the date before that, you know what I mean? And people can even plan around, so it's easier as a wrestler. I told you, motherfuckers.
I fucking told you.
As a wrestler, if you know when the dates are coming up, you can plan around that rather than going, well, I planned a holiday 6 months ago and you're telling me this is a show today.
Do you know what I love seeing when people promote? I love seeing like, oh look, I know I talk about it. I don't often talk about it on my social media, but I actually do talk about it all the time. Come down to my wrestling event this weekend. This is the one. If you're ever coming to see me wrestle, this is the one. Not those 9 other times I said this is the one. All that shit's in the past. This is the one. If you're ever coming to see me.
I feel like that's a personal attack, and I won't stand for it.
No. If you're any good, they would be coming to watch you every week. Every week, my friend. Every week.
Yeah, no, I've done that before, so
Everyone's done it. It's time for the wrap around the country. It's a big weekend, Don. Smash it out and give it a nice...
I'm smashing out every show to the end of the year. That's what I'm doing. That's a wrap around the country. Every show to the end of the year.
It's a reducing list.
Yeah, the list is huge. Again, Michael Lee has just given us so much information. We are very excited, thankful to have him on board and helping us out. But this is it for the end of the year, unless something else pops up, which you never know, but we'll see. In the ACT, if you're in the Canberra area, Slam Pro Wrestling is at the UC Refectory Saturday, December 6th. And then they have an Academy Showcase number 11 on Saturday, December 13th. In New South Wales, PWA Pro Wrestling Australia have Black Label kick-ons Friday, December 5th. Australian Wrestling Entertainment Summer Showdown, Saturday, December 6th. Newcastle Pro Wrestling Shattered 11 on December 6th as well. All-Star Wrestling Australia has Christmas Carnage 3 and the Penrith Collector Con on Saturday, December 6th and Sunday, December 7th. Wrestling Go have Double the Beatings, Saturday, December 13th, and Suplex Pro Wrestling have Season 3, Chapter 10, December 13th. Heading on up to the Northern Territory, Top End Wrestling have Saturday Night Fights on the 20th of December. Queensland Pro Wrestling Power, Friday Night Danger, and Lockdown 2 on the 5th and 6th of December. IPW has the Santa Rumble on December the 13th. Heading on over to South Australia, ACW Adelaide Championship Wrestling present Eminence on December the 6th. Riot City Wrestling How the Grim Stole Christmas on December 14th. And Pro Wrestling South Australia have Hardcore Mania 12 on December the 20th. If you're in Tasmania, Tasmanian Championship Wrestling have Decimation on December the 13th. And Victoria has an action-packed end of the year with Deathmatch Down Under Season Beatings on December the 4th. That's a Thursday. Battle Championship Wrestling have BCW 67 on Friday, December 5th. And I recommend getting out to BCW whenever you can. It's a good fun night out. Mayhem Pro have December to Remember on Friday, December 5th as well. Adrenaline Pro Wrestling Never in Your Wildest Dreams, Saturday, December 6th. Professional Championship Wrestling have a PCW Christmas on December the 6th. Melbourne City Wrestling, as we have talked about earlier in the show, have Endgame on Sunday, December 7th. Wrestle Rock, A Very Wrestle Rock Christmas is happening on Friday, December 12th. Victorian Pro Wrestling have Fear No Evil on December 13th. And Alpha Pro Wrestling have Thursday Night Fights, Energy, and Sunbury SmackDown on December 18th and Saturday, December 20th. And then in WA, this weekend, if you're in WA, make sure you get yourself down to Dude Where's My Ring for the Great George's Christmas Carol on Friday, December 5th. EPW have Reawakening 24 next weekend on the 13th. And New Horizons Pro Wrestling have the Snack Festival on December the 31st. Interesting. A pre-New Year's show.
Reviewing Reawakening next week, Don. That'll be interesting. I saw your match come up this weekend.
Be 2 gauntlets within 2 weeks. So that's I've got my work cut out for me. I'm going to have to fill that gas tank and be ready for a big night.
Well, that's it. Well, get us out of here, Don.
Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Please make sure if you like what you see, give us a like and subscribe to the page and the channel so that you can get updates whenever we're going to put the show up, because it's not always at the same time. It's not always at the same day. We try and get out as quick as possible.
Lives. We have lives, people. We have lives.
Yes,
we're not just some wrestling nerds fucking chilling out, watching every fucking little bit of content that comes out.
And then also, if you have any questions or if we've said anything that you like or even said anything that you don't like, feel free to express yourself in the comments or send me a DM. I'm on Instagram at @TheDonMorleone. Also, please get out there and support local wrestling. I just listed off all those shows that are happening to the end of the year. There's plenty of time to catch some wrestling. Get down, pay the ticket. Don't ask someone for a free ticket. Don't use a discount code. Pay the full whack so that everyone else gets paid. Get down, support local wrestling. If you want to help a specific wrestler, please get to the merch table, buy their merch. That money goes right directly to their wrestling journey and can really help them on their way to bigger and better things in professional wrestling. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.